Welcome back, beautiful people. It's your TTA Pro, Mr. O, back with a DSAT episode. Today, we're going to review sentence boundaries. So basically, we're going to review in a quick video all of the punctuation that we need to know for our exam. We're going to review the semicolon, the period, comma, fan voice, the colon, the dash, and the comma. So I'm going to give you the most common rules, the best rules for you to conquer the punctuation portion of the exam. And then we're going to jump into practice. Let's get started. When we're dealing with a semicolon, when you're dealing with a comma fanboys, or when you're dealing with a period, what is your job? Your job is to identify two independent ideas. This can get tricky. One thing I've noticed with many students is you guys need to read the full sentence. And then when you read the full sentence, you need to identify the two independent ideas of the sentences. This is critical for you to get these answers correct. You don't go by what it looks like. I find this as a problem. Students, they choose answers based on what it looks like. That is silly. So when you're dealing with sentence boundaries, your job is to separate ideas and clauses. The most common way, or the easiest way, or the best way to begin right now is the semicolon, comma, fanboys, period. What are our fanboys? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. What is your job? Identify two independent ideas. One before, the second one after. The next thing we're going to discuss is the single dash and the double dash. Again, remember the rule for a single dash to be correct. Independent dash, and then after the dash can come an explanation or a list. After the dash can be dependent or independent, does not matter. Your job is to read the sentence from beginning till end and identify the single complete idea. If the idea or the clause before the dash is complete, then dash is more likely correct. The double dash usually appears as a subject dash dash verb. Please remember this. SAT loves the double dash. Usually it comes between the subject and the verb. The next part, colon. With regards to colons, the number one rule is we need a complete idea before the colon. You have it, you're good. Don't act like you don't know this. A complete idea before the colon. You have it, you're good. After the colon can come explanation or a list. Don't make things over complicated. Keep this in mind. Any questions with the colon? Finally, the comma. Now, the comma, a lot of people have problems with commas, right? So the comma has many, many jobs, right? It has quite a few jobs. So number one, the comma separates an independent idea from a dependent idea, or dependent ideas from other dependent ideas. So for example, simple example, independent idea, comma, ing, that's a common formula that appears on the exam, like or a dependent from another dependent, for example, in 1988, comma, before the war, comma, there was a man, right? So commas can separate independent ideas from other independent ideas or dependent ideas from other dependent ideas. Commas can be used in lists, comma, comma, and structure. Commas can be used with comma which. This is very common, right? It's giving you the most common rules, the rundown of the rules, because these are things you're probably going to use. Number 5, subject, comma, comma, verb, correct structure. 2 commas between the subject and the verb. Your job is to identify where the sentence is. Why? These are the common ways commas come correct. It's easier if you find the incorrect ways commas are used, so that way you can use elimination. So what do I mean by this? Right? Subject, comma, verb, wrong. Verb, comma, object, wrong. Adjective, comma, noun, wrong. Independent, comma, independent, wrong. Comma, preposition, wrong. Comma, that, wrong. It's a little cheat sheet. Little cheat sheet right here. These are common ways the exam brings incorrect comma usage through fragments. So fragment, 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 or comma splice. Well, sorry, it's a comma splice. Don't forget this. So when you're reading the sentences, when you're dealing with sentence boundaries, I want you to remember, where are the subjects and verbs? Some other notes I want to tell you: when you're dealing with a subordinating conjunction, such as because, it needs a subject and verb. It's dependent, but it needs a subject and verb. When you're dealing with a relative clause, such as that, which, or who, they need a verb. So these are things that also can throw you off, confuse you, throw you in a little tizzy. This is a little rundown, a little summary of sentence boundaries. If you're watching the video, please jump into the practice. Other than that, you can learn anything, just send out.